Hello, and welcome to the Ascension Mission. I'm Chrissy Marie Davis, and I'm so happy to have you here for this episode about quantum navigation to really embody our higher selves and higher timelines. So, quantum healing is a popular topic, and many of you might know it through inner child healing or, working with your past lives and healing certain wounded aspects of you. But today we really want to explore the potential of the quantum to support us in stepping into higher selves. So as much as it's a beautiful process to work with the versions of us who have experienced some sort of wound or are in need of a healing experience, it's also so powerful. And when we're really stepping forward on our ascension journey, when we're really having the intention in our heart of expanding ourselves in love and expanding our consciousness to one that sees more throughout this transmission, you're going to hear me do some light language, and it's just a way that my soul speaks. So light language, is sound frequencies that go beyond language, any human language we know. And it's like energy work. It's calibrating the field. So with your permission, I will be using this powerful sound frequencies throughout the transmission. The quantum is often used for healing, but what I want you to know is that it has the power to help you embody higher states of being. So when we seek ascension, when we seek expansion, when we want to step into new versions of us, which means we want to have more love in our heart, have more love in our life, have more intimacy with others. We want to be fully embodying our soul mission and so soul fulfilled and truthful and authentic the way we express ourselves in the world and the way we can and support others. And we want to awaken to the truth of our abundance and experience our soul, our body, our life as abundance. When we want these things, the quantum becomes this playground to experience all of that. And it helps us because for many of us along the journey, for many years, I know for me, we're motivated by trying to get out of something, trying to get away from something. Like what really catapults us on our ascension journeys is often the fact that we need healing. We go through some experience and we're like, this sucks. Like, I don't like this. I don't want to feel this. I don't want my life to be like this. We feel restricted. We feel constricted. We feel angry. We feel suppressed. We feel tired. We feel, all these things, and we want to break out of that cage. And then we begin healing. And we use the quantum, and maybe we do our inner child healing, and we realize there's versions from us from our childhood, our teenage years, and maybe even past lives and others' lives who experience these things that are still with us on the subconscious level. And we do that healing, and we do that in the quantum, because all of us, all versions of us exist beyond space and time in the quantum. And we can access any version of us through that space. So, eventually, on our healing journeys, we get to a point where we feel happy, like we feel pretty good. And there's things we want, like, okay, I still want to be sharing my purpose more. I still want to speak up more authentically and share who I am. I still want to spread my message and my word with the world, my frequency, so that I can support ascension of others. We still want to expand our experience of abundance. We want to expand our relationship with money into the higher realms, into higher frequencies. So we still have goals and we still have desires and we have dreams. I want to travel the world. I want to go to Egypt. I want to go on spiritual retreats. I want to have, a family. I want to have children. I want to have a loving partner. I want to buy a piece of land in nature and just live there in harmony. We have dreams. And this becomes our motivation. And the way that the quantum can help us when we get to this point where it's not so much about leaving things behind anymore, it's now about gaining more of what we want, of what we desire, about building and creating more fun, more joy, more bliss and excitement in our lives, and creating the lifestyle that supports that. So now we're coming into the realm less of healing, even though, healing is always a part of the process. And now we're kind of coming into creation, quantum creation. So when we want to create the life of our dreams, how can the quantum support that? That, my friends, is what we're going to explore here today. So if that excites you, buckle up, bundle up, and let's do it. So, creating our dream lives with the quantum as our support. Here we go. So, you're familiar with the quantum. You've done healing. You've worked with many layers of energy. You understand that the universe is made of energy and everything is energy before it's physical. So when you do healing, you understand that, okay, I'm having this experience. I don't like it. Let me go back into the energetic forms of me and see where this is coming from. And we develop a lot of mastery in this. Okay, there's this emotion of anger here. Let me go, we work with the healer, we work with ourselves, and we calibrate, okay, there's this version of me from when I was a child that felt this, and then, okay, what does that version need? We give it love, we have a conversation, we do some healing work, and then all of a sudden that version feels healed, feels happier, feels full of love, feels integrated and seen. And then whoop, that version of us that was being impacted from that inner child self, now we feel different. Now we show up in our life, we show up with our partner, we show up with our friends, and that anger we had before isn't there anymore because it's been alchemized, it's been integrated into our whole subconscious quantum field. Okay, so it's the same principle when we go into higher frequency embodiment, higher self connection in the quantum. So it's the same idea, except now you're the one that's asking for support. Instead of being the one who is supporting, that version of you, it's okay for you to be the one that wants support. And so you are tuning in and you're saying, okay, I would like to really create a soul business, a soul mission that is so impactful and so aligned with who I truly am. But I've never done that before. And, I'm just starting out. And I notice in my business, sometimes I'm insecure around accepting money. And then every time I get into these conversations about payment, I get nervous and awkward and even, avoidant of the conversation. And I can feel that's impacting me from being able to fully step into my mission. Great. Now you go into the quantum and you call in, just like you call in the version of the inner child, you call in the versions of your higher selves, versions of you across space and time. Could be a future version of you in this life. Could be other versions of you who have lived in these beautiful higher realm, higher frequency societies and civilizations on Earth. Or it could be even versions of you who exist beyond the Earth in your Arcturian lifetime, an Andromedan lifetime, a Pleiadian version of you, or an angelic version of you. You can call in these versions of you who have embodied the things that we're talking about, the things of a beautiful frequency relationship with money, or really impacting people with a powerful message, with purity. And you say, I call forward a version of me who is embodied in this. And then they come forth. And the same way you would talk to your inner child and say, how are you doing? What do you need? You talk to this version, you receive from this version. And they show you, maybe with visuals or with information, they show you their life. And they show you this version of you beyond what you know. Maybe it's a version of you in ancient Egypt. This is something I've connected to, a version of myself in ancient Egypt who is this beautiful queen. And she has her partner, this beautiful king, and they have children. And she runs this beautiful community with so much care. And there's resources. She has this beautiful relationship with money that she sees it as a resource just to support people, and support her family. It's just completely seen with love. And people come in and she supports, and she has time for her relationship, she has time for her children, and she has time for her mission. And it's all integrated. Because when I connect to this version of me, I was the one asking for support because I couldn't, it was like I had these subconscious beliefs that I couldn't have it all. I have a relationship, I want a family in the future, and I have a mission, but I felt like I had to choose. And so the ways that was coming out in my life was that I was at the time long distance with my partner quite a bit. And he would be in one place and I would be across the world doing my mission. And then I would pause and then I would come visit him. And then, it was like I was choosing. I had to have one or the other. And then what she showed me when I went to visit Egypt, actually, this is where it happened. You don't have to actually go to the locations, which is cool about the quantum. You can just do this from your living room, anywhere you are. But in this case, when I first connected to her, I did go to Egypt. And I was sitting in the Great Pyramid of Giza, if you can imagine. And I was receiving so much light, so much frequency. I was just sitting there in meditation with some of my friends who were also receiving. We were all just sitting there in silence, meditating. And I was just getting connection with this version of me. And she appeared so vividly in front of me. And I could feel her, I could see her, and she showed me her life. And I was so used to, at this point, doing so much healing that when she appeared, I was like, okay, here we go. Let's heal another version of me. What's going to be the problem? And she started showing me her life, and it's beautiful. And I was literally waiting for the okay, and then something terrible happened, and now let's heal it. And no, that's not what happened this time. She just showed me that, she was this leader and she was so connected with her partner and he had his leadership too. And then they had these children who were all integrated. And it's like, it showed me energetically and mentally this version of life where it's all one. Where I don't have to segment it. I don't have to be with my partner. Okay, shut off that relationship, go into business mode. Okay, shut off that relationship, be with my kids. It didn't have to be that way, that it could all flow somehow, integrated seamlessly. And I thought, wow. And then I was just laughing because I was like, wow, she's not coming to me for help, for healing. She's coming to support me and stepping into a new version of myself. And I continue to connect with her. I went about a year ago to Egypt when I first connected with her, and I continue to connect with her because when I need that reminder, when I need that frequency boost of, okay, I can see that there's versions of me showing up again and I can have one or the other, I call on her, I meditate, I visualize her, I ask her for support. I merge my frequency with her so that I can receive more of that reality. So this is what I'm trying to show you, that the quantum holds anything and everything, which means that version of you that you want to be, that life you want to have, you've already had it. You have your future selves who have it. You have, other versions of you who have embodied similar things, and they can support you. So in the quantum, in navigating this energetic space of all that is, we can step into and connect with our soul and other versions of us who can support us. And in addition to that, we work with our teams of light, these higher frequency beings that are not versions of us, but that we know very intimately, that our soul has known for lifetimes. And there are benevolent beings of light out there that support us. And this is when we call upon the Arcturian Council, the Andromedan Council of Light. We call on the Syrian Council, and we really work with these high frequency beings who also understand and have embodiment of the frequencies we desire. And so here's the thing. You feel love. Of course you feel love. You have so much love in your heart. You have so much love in your soul. And we can feel that. And maybe this version of you in this moment has only experienced so much. And when you think of love, you say, oh yeah, I know what love feels like. Love feels like this. But did you know that there are infinite levels of experiencing love? Like the love you feel today, if you're the beautiful parent of a pet or a child, you know that you were a loving person and then you got a pet or then you got a child. And the love, it's like, the Grinch, for the Grinch Stole Christmas, when he says, my heart grew 3 sizes that day. It's like, you feel like your heart grew and you're like, wait a minute, now I feel even more love. And that's what I'm talking about, is that there is no cap on love. There is no cap on abundance. There is no limit of maximum on excitement and joy. And we get to explore those. When we step into higher frequency consciousness, 5D, 7D, 9D, it's a playground of these higher realm frequencies. We get to explore and expand into more of all of that. And so that's why when we connect in the quantum with beings of light, Groshkia, goddesses and gods of a higher frequency realms, Groshkia, Isis, Hathor, Groshkia, Sarasvati, Groshkia, when we really connect with Groshkia beings who are here to love us and support us, Groshkia, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary. There's so many benevolent beings that have such high consciousness that they can always expand us. It's like if you have someone in your life who's so wise, like somebody that you always go to, and when you talk with them, you're like, damn, I feel like a better version of me. I feel like that just gave me another perspective to see it, like with more compassion, with more forgiveness, with more love. That's what these beings do. So when we connect with them in the quantum, they help us expand into more love. They help us expand into more of our higher frequency embodiment. And that's what we're doing. That's what ascension is. It's stepping into higher and higher levels of consciousness so that we can feel more, see more, Groshkia, understand more from a unified perspective, from Groshkia, a perspective of light and love within us. And then we get to create realities from those frequencies. And we get to Groshkia, Moroteataishkia, refine who we are and call in higher and higher levels of what we wish to experience. So, if all of this is sounding juicy and just resonant and speaking to you, I would love to invite you into a little process, a little quantum journey. We can't talk about the quantum and not experience the quantum. You know what I mean? So if you're down, you can make yourself comfortable. It'll just be a short process, just a little juicy taster of what I'm speaking about. And this could be of something you've experienced in many levels, but I want to give you an opportunity right now to connect with a higher version of you. And when I say higher, I don't mean better. I don't mean, that they're better than you or it's hierarchical. It's more of an expanded version of you, one that has this higher consciousness where they can see things with even more love, even more light, even more forgiveness, even more compassion, even more excitement. And so I really want you to experience that right now. So if you'd like, you can make yourself comfortable. And we are supported at this time, with your permission and with your openness, if you desire to receive it. We open up this space, we open up this energetic field, to receive the beautiful support of the Arcturian Council of the Ninth Dimension, to receive the beautiful support of the Syrian Council, 70, Andromedan Council of Light, Isis, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Jesus, the goddess Sarasvati, Lakshmi, goddess of love, Hathor, and Zeus, gods and goddesses of the golden realm. And we bring in frequencies of the angels, the archangels, and angels of the highest frequency light. So just begin feeling the support, feeling the frequency of the field shifting to receive this higher consciousness, to receive this beautiful, beautiful frequency. See if you can feel your frequency expanding as this comes into the field. And now, using your quantum vision, and even if you do not see these things I mentioned, just know you are receiving it energetically. But would like you to tap into Drashkia, using your quantum X-ray vision, Drashkia, a door in front of you. You now see this door, Drashkia, Ti, beautiful, beautiful, ornate, Drashkia door. Notice Drashkia, the color, the look, the texture, Drashkia. It's a beautiful frequency door. That is going to connect you to a higher version of yourself. Groshkia, a version embodied in abundance. Drashkia, higher realm mission. Soul embodiment. Drashkia, tiatayishkia. If there's a specific intention you have now, you can name it. Something you want support on in your life, name it now. Groshkia ti. Wishkia, and the door is stabilizing. Notice the door in front of you, and now see it open and step through. And as you step through this door, you are transported to a version of you who has embodied this thing you speak of. Higher realm frequency. Notice what you feel, what you see, what you hear around you, and see this version in front of you. And when you connect with this version, I want you to actually step into their body, their avatar, and feel as if you were them. What is your consciousness? What are you thinking about? What do you see? What are you experiencing? What's the scene as if it's playing out in front of you? Notice a little bit longer, anything else you need to experience or feel or receive from this version of you. Shkia, beautiful. And now thank this version of you. And step out of that avatar so you can see them in front of you. You have you and then them in front of you. And now supported by our team of light, these beautiful high frequency beings, they are going to calibrate your frequency so you are more in alignment with this version of you. So you are receiving into your field now more connection and resonance with this version of you's love, embodiment of abundance, embodiment of soul frequency, embodiment. The thing that you specifically wanted support on. We are calibrating a field of connection around the two of you so that you can constantly be receiving this frequency as you integrate and this container of connection is now available to you. So as you leave this space today, you can always call upon it again. And this container of calibration frequency will be available to you. Just call in this version of you, and you can come into this bubble of frequency and connect and bathe in its light. Complete. Lock that in. And now with love, you bring this version of you into your heart, feeling it coming into your field with so much love. And you can return to your consciousness of your physical body in the space where you are, right here together. Beautiful. Just spend a few moments here. Integrating. Really feeling this new version of you who has received and now has a new support, a new member on their light team. to help them embody this, to help them become a new you and build and create the realities of your desire. Beautiful one. I'm going to leave you here so you can stay in this frequency. And if you'd like, you can get out a pen and paper and do some journaling. You can ask questions, you can have conversation with this version of you, or you can just go outside, feel the sun or the grass on your feet, or drink some water as this new you, and know that it takes time and it can integrate and you can continue connecting with this version. And this is higher frequency embodiment using the quantum navigation, using quantum field and versions of you, and supported by higher frequencies of light to create your highest desires. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned, subscribe for more videos on how we can support you in your ascension process, how we can enjoy this life, fully fulfilled, fully embodied in your soul self, living your highest timelines so we can create together, a new earth. So much love. I'm Christine Marie Davis. Till next time.